Alright, Samsung is about to announce the Galaxy S10, and by the time you watch this video, they've probably done so already. It's been about a year since the S9's launch, so let's take another look at it to see how it's fared over that time. Let's go ahead and start out with what is probably the most important part of a revisit, and that's overall performance. I'm happy to report that performance over this period of time has remained very good. Now, it's not flawless or anything, so it's not entirely lag-free, but it's not bad at all, and it's just more proof that Samsung phones are getting better with this whole longevity thing. Battery life also remains on the good side of things. Endurance has decreased a little bit, but that's normal with heavy use over time. My unit hasn't experienced any rapid draining or anything serious, so that's nice. Still getting around 5 to 6 plus hours of screen on time on the S9 Plus at least. And I finally got that Android 9 Pie OneUI update. Now, I still need some time to mess around with it since I just got it on the S9, however, it is pretty nice overall, I have to admit. While it still needs some polish, I do enjoy the focus on things like one-handed use. Fingerprint, face, and iris unlock have improved thanks to the update, and it did, in a way, breathe new life into the S9, so props to Samsung for that. They've done a solid job keeping this phone updated throughout the year. Honestly, that's all I have to say about performance because, well, there really isn't much to say. But that's a good thing. It just goes back to what I said about Samsung phones showing great improvement as far as longevity, and if the S9 isn't enough proof, the S8 around 2 years later still runs great as well. I actually might make a video on this. So to me anyway, it felt like the S9 was kind of left out a little bit for a decent portion of 2018, what with its sibling, the Note 9 releasing a little later. There was the Pixel 3, OnePlus 6 and 6T, Huawei's P20 Pro, Mate 20 Pro, there was the LG V40 and others. With phones like that taking the spotlight, the S9 seemed to sit quietly off to the side, but doing so as one of the best phones and one of the best values of the year, especially with price drops. As we know, Samsung phones depreciate rather quickly compared to phones from their biggest competitors, but those decreases in price do open the door for great purchases down the road and after all the hype. The S9 and S9 Plus released for $720 and $840 respectively. And as of this video, you can pick up an S9 or an S9 Plus for anywhere between $350 to $550 online. With that being within a budget to mid-range price tier, here's why picking one up now actually wouldn't be a bad idea. For starters, it's a Samsung phone, so you know you're getting a heavily feature-packed device. You get a big, bright, crisp, vibrant display, you got premium hardware, water resistance, fast charging, wireless charging, stereo speakers, expandable storage, Samsung Pay, a fingerprint reader, face and iris unlock, and you've got Samsung's avoidance of certain smartphone trends, those of course being notch implementation and headphone jack removal. So yes, great reasons to get the phone, but as always, there are reasons you may not want to. See, smartphone cameras keep getting better, and with these improving cameras, we get a more saturated ranking of the best. It's the same thing I stated in my Note 9 revisit because, well, they have the same set of cameras. Because of what we see from other phones out there, the S9's cameras show that Samsung has some work to do if they really want to get back up to the top, especially with the front-facing camera. So we fully expect the S10 to focus heavily on cameras, no pun intended. Now, I'm not trying to bash them, and to be completely honest, the cameras aren't bad by any means. They're actually really good on their own. There are a ton of features to mess around with, not to mention video footage comes out great. And overall, I think most users will be pleased with their results. But again, just like with the Note 9, don't go buying the S9 strictly for its cameras. Other reasons one may not want to pick up an S9 would be Samsung's software. Sure, OneUI is nice and all, I do like the update, but it's still a Samsung skin on top of Android, a heavy one at that, and it's just not for everybody. There's also the curved display. Gorgeous as it may be to look at, I do know there are a number of people that aren't fans of the curved edges in use, as it can lead to accidental presses and picture distortion. Then of course you have the Galaxy S10. It's the latest and greatest from Samsung, and it appears to feature some things that may sway the attention of buyers away from other options. However, the S10 is not going to be cheap. It'll be quite expensive, and with the way things have been going, most flagships releasing this year will be too, as expected. But then, the thought of Samsung phone depreciation re-enters and says, well, why not wait for the S10's price drop? A valid thought that might be, no matter what, the S10 will always be more expensive. Look, bottom line, the S9 was and still is to this day a great phone. It has a bunch to offer, so if you're in the market for a phone, you don't need the latest and greatest, and you're not looking to drop $1,000 on a phone, the S9 Plus especially is a great option, even a year later. In this mid-range price tier, it'll be hard to find a more well-rounded device, trust me. It is a feature-packed beast that'll be sure to serve you very well for a good long time. So what do you guys think of the S9 1 year later? Do you think it's worth picking up now? Have you been using one? And what do you think of the Galaxy S10? Let us know your thoughts by dropping them down below in the comment section. As always, we love to hear your feedback. But anyway, that does it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to the Android Police channel if you are new. I will talk to you guys later, and thank you so much for watching.